Ladies and gentlemen, let's continue here on day 2 of the 2017 BDO World Trophy. We now welcome to the stage our Eastern European qualifier, a former Malta Open champion, the reigning Turkish Masters champion. He's Ankara's angry Umit Uygunsozlu. We now bring to the stage a former British Open and Welsh Open champion, the reigning Denmark Open champion, the 2015 Lakeside World Champion. It's Scotty Dog, Scott Mitchell.
Dogs out, Scott Mitchell, Scotty Dog, as they say, has that walk-on music, and we all remember him, of course, for his World Championship triumph in 2015, and what a triumph that was. Hasn't really gone on since then to perhaps dominate would be the wrong word, but to have a greater influence on all the major tournaments since. And winning one or two perhaps, but nevertheless he acceded for, and with very good reason, because he's still very, very consistent. Hugh Ware, former BDO umpire referee, who I'm happy is with me. You know your darts, so away you go. What do you think about what I said about Scotty?
Yes, good afternoon everybody. You know, I do agree with you, John, but it was almost a feeling when he won the Lakeside, it was like he had climbed the top of the mountain, really. Such a good achievement, and against Martin Adams in a classic Lakeside.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. First leg is got to throw first.
It would be good for him to have a really good run in this for his own form, his own confidence sake.
Well, he's won the throw in the players' room, and best of 11.
60.
Goes to 6. Against a Turkish man, Umit Uygunsozlu, who's from Turkey. We don't, in all fairness, know a lot about him because he only started playing darts in 2014. And therefore, obviously, we've seen very little of him, but he's qualified for this. He was a finalist in the Mediterranean
60.
Open. And he, in 2015, when he'd been playing the game only 12 months, he won the Malta Open, the Mediterranean Cup, and the Mediterranean Open. So he's a man
140
who's definitely an improver and a potential banana skin.
Well, he's got the experience of winning tournaments, no matter what they are. To be able to win a country's Open like the Malta Open or the Mediterranean Open, whatever Open, a lot of players enter these things. So to be able to win them, you have to have some pedigree.
60.
Oh, no, it's Scotty Dog who has pedigree.
Pedigree chum.
We mustn't advertise, but...
Well, they're not chums on the hockey, are they? Particularly in Scott Mitchell's case.
140.
First maximum nearly there. Good start this, 161 after 9.
Yes, should he win, well, whoever wins, whether it be Umit or Scott, will play Peter Machin, the Australian, who really
85.
looked impressive.
Scott, you require 161.
DeVos, didn't he?
Yes, absolutely. He picked up from where he left off last year, didn't he? Machin made it all the way through to the final this time last year. And now he's added here DeVos, again, another top BDO player, to his list of scalps over the last 12 months in this
83.
tournament. So Uygunsozlu yet to really settle, John.
Yes, he's well behind here, as we can see, and it'll be his first experience of the big stage and television cameras and lights around. But, well, if this is anything to go by, he's certainly responding to it.
180.
What do we know,
Scott
Hugh?
requires
Because that
78.
was a tremendous effort.
Yes, and perfect timing to make Mitchell think about this 78. Now 20 for tops, double top, one dart at it.
58.
And now Uygunsozlu,
160.
his first shot at the checkouts, 116. Couple of ways to go for this. Could be upstairs for the 20s, and it looks like he is. Treble 20 first. Yes, now stay there. Oh, well, we all held our bated breath there, John, didn't we?
Yeah, see, if he'd have hit the treble 20, he'd have gone for double 18, of course. But incidentally, 116 in the last game. We
60.
saw, actually, a 116 from Corinne
Scott,
Hammond,
you require 20.
in a victory over Fallon Sherrick. And she hit the treble 7 first dart, going for the 19s route.
Yeah, that's been
nice
shot in
finish
the
from
first
Scott
leg.
Mitchell.
Scott Mitchell.
Well, it was the 180
Second
from
leg, it's
the
Umit
Turkish
Uygunsozlu
man
first.
that put him in with a shout. But Mitchell now has shut him out. And having hit the treble 7, she then hit the treble 19 and the double 19. So that was an unconventional way. But that's one reason why sometimes people say the 19 route is as good as the 20, if not better.
Yeah, the idea being that if you hit the single 19, you would like to have a good marker for
40.
the treble to leave that one dart at tops. And the same there, going for the treble 20, 420s to leave double 18, who's hoping for a good marker.
The fact is, it's personal preference, isn't it?
It's the right way to go if you hit it, John. I think that's always...
60.
I always think that, you know, if you manage to hit the shot, then it was the right way to go.
$41.
41, unlucky there. Just ricocheted very slightly and took a dart which might have gone into the treble. But, yes, Welsh Open winner in 2016, Isle of Man
59.
Classic winner in the same year. But I think this is the kind of tournament that Scott has to target, isn't it? And no doubt he does. And I thought he was going to have a great chance of taking the World Masters back in December, but he fought
140.
I think it was against Mark McGeaney.
Well, Uygunsozlu still ahead on throw. Crucial for him, I think, John, to hold throw in this leg. You know, his first time up on this big stage. Really wants to get a leg on the board as soon as possible. Doesn't want to let somebody of the experience of Mitchell get ahead of him by too much. But this is good.
125.
Unlucky deflection on the last.
I think it was missing anyway by some way, but yeah. Oh, this is a great response from Mitchell. Perfect response. Doesn't get any more perfect if he won a now.
And similar to Uygunsozlu in the first leg, hitting a maximum to get back into the leg. At just the right time.
Yeah, I think there might have been a...
Umit Uygunsozlu 155.
Oh, no, it's 155, yeah. I think he thought he might have been on something different. We've got it right.
Well, is he going to get this checkout right? Not to be on this occasion. Look to set it up as best as he can. That's good. 78 left. So we'll probably look at 18s here. Mitchell in the background sizing up this 102.
Unlucky.
89.
Good try.
Scott Uygunsozlu
Well,
102.
66, won't it? And Scott Mitchell wanting 102. Now wants treble 17 for the bull. But won't be happy with that first dart. It was
78.
by his standards. By
Umit
any
Uygunsozlu 66.
poor dart. So he's given the Turkish gentleman Uygunsozlu a chance here at 66. 56, 16 and tops, might be 20 and double 18. He certainly stands and thinks about it. Now, Topsy wants to level up at 1-1.
That's game
gotta
short
give
in the
credit
second
where
leg.
it's due.
Umit Uygunsozlu.
Absolutely,
Third leg,
the
it's
focus
got the
served
throw
him
first.
well.
Game on.
And that really should settle him down now, John. And Scott Mitchell knows he's in a game here.
100.
Best of 11 legs. You have got a small amount of time to settle, but if it was 2-0 to Mitchell, you would really say that already Uygunsozlu would be up against it. But as it is, it's 1-1.
And the one thing that Mitchell has, there he's prowling in the background, has to get himself
45.
focused on is the fact that he's going to be standing at the back for a good while because he takes his time, doesn't he, Umit?
He's getting frustrated at the moment because
100.
despite a 180 and some heavy scores, the consistency hasn't been there for him yet.
Well, each of it a 180, and on each occasion the leg has been lost.
$58.
And Mitchell again still in advance in this leg.
$60.
Unlucky. There are 60s and 60s. That was good grouping. Just a fraction lower, and he probably had the maximum. Well, Uygunsozlu has not
22.
endeared himself to himself there with that visit, and now Scott Mitchell has a distinct, discernible advantage here. Incidentally, have you ever known this as a referee or as a spectator or even as a
100.
player if you play darts, which I'm sure you must do?
In the dim and distant past,
I
John.
don't mean personally. I mean, have you ever seen it, witnessed somebody scoring 3 with 3 single ones, and then the next visit hitting a 180?
Well, I've seen it down the pub several times, but never on the big stage.
No.
No, it was
93.
extraordinary.
Scott, you require
Extraordinary sequence of
141.
6 darts to open the match.
Yes.
From Sherrock.
After 6 darts, she had an average of 91.5. 3 and
105.
Yes, extraordinary. Sort of led Queen Hammond not to know what kind of form she was in, really, scoring 3 followed by 180.
100.
But Mitchell now on double
Scott, you
18
require 36.
for a comfortable hold of throw. Good mark of that.
It is. I think he'll come down about half an inch. Well, he only came down a quarter of an inch. And he's using the
that's
same
been short
ruler
in the
as I
third
do.
line. Scott
It's a
Mitchell.
good one, I'll tell
Forward
you.
leg, it's Umit
It
to throw
always looked
first.
likely
Game on.
that did. Even after the second dart missed, I think he was always confident that he was going to hit that with the last dart. So, 3 legs gone, all legs with throw.
96.
I doubt whether Uygunsozlu would know what an inch was. They probably have always used metric measurements.
Well, that was the most comfortable hold of throw we've had so
100.
far.
Yes, it was.
And now Mitchell will really be looking to threaten this throw and shake off what's been a plucky performance so far. This is good again from Uygunsozlu. See, once he gets the first
114.
dart in, he has looked very likely all the time. But when his first dart's been missing, his scoring has really not been that good.
Slot it in between,
60.
which he did in fairness, but not in where he wanted it.
Now, 265, we normally see a lot of players start on the 19s these days in
Yes,
modern darts,
to
John.
avoid-
But
But that's fair enough. Could just get 180 and leave yourself on 85.
why not?
Oh,
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yes, he's a decent player, isn't he? You know, he's not going to be shaken off very easily. And that's been the feature of this tournament.
43.
There are players
Would you
coming in who
require
are discernible
85?
underdogs and performing well. On occasions, winning games. On occasions, not, but making themselves known. And
53.
it's been a good 2 days and not completed this one yet. We've got Martin Adams against Cameron Menzies, England against Scotland there. Anastasia Dobromislova.
140.
Against, the Russian
Umit
against Sue
Uygunsozlu,
Edwards from
32.
England. And Dean Reynolds, the Welsh local boy from this part of Wales, I think, up against Jim Williams, who's also, I think, from West Wales, isn't he, Jim? You know better than I do.
Yes, no, that's right. Double 16 here.
Yeah, that's
Yes,
game
in with
short
the
in the
last
fourth
dart.
leg. Umit Uygunsozlu.
15 dart leg.
Fifth
He
leg
enjoyed
is
that.
got the throw first. Game on.
Bit
Yes.
of emotion for the first time from Uygunsozlu.
2-all.
140.
It took me about 4.5 hours to drive down here. How long did it take you to get here, Hugh?
About a 10-minute walk.
Oh, you lucky fella. You live in a very nice part of the world, I have to say.
I've always
43.
described it as a cosy town, John, a
Yes.
cosy seaside town. Made famous more recently, of course, by television programs
Yes,
and,
I've
the
seen- yes.
like.
I've seen one or two.
140.
And in darting terms, the original home of the great Alan Evans, of course.
Yes, absolutely.
And I know he moved back here before he sadly died in '99.
Yes, there's Alan Evans Close now, a street in
Is there
Barry.
really? Well, that's nice to know. That'd be nice to go and take a photograph of that at some stage.
81.
Yes, remembered very fondly around these parts. Alan Evans.
Moved up to my neck of the woods. He was in Stockport for 16 years. Became a fervent Man City
60.
fan, which I approved of. And we actually played on the same Super League team for a couple of 3 years in the Lancashire Super League back in the early 80s. And so got to know Alan very, very well. Did a few exhibitions with him as well. So it's nice to
26.
come down here. And I must
Scots
go to
Uruguay,
Alan
161.
Evans Close and take a picture.
'87.
So 74 left for Mitchell, and there's no doubting that he will win this leg unless there's a major catastrophe on his part befalls him. But so far, all the legs have gone
99.
with throw,
Scots requires
and at
74.
some stage, Umit has to break Scott if he's going to cause a shock. Tops.
54.
So double 10 when he returns, but Uygunsozlu can just afford to relax on these darts. If he can put the pressure on, he will, but he has a little smile to himself and just knows just how far back he is in this leg.
Yes, I think what he's actually doing is mentally staying in the match by focusing still as though he were
59.
in the leg. And we have
Scots
seen
require
today
20.
one or two legs that had seemingly gone suddenly pulled
Yeah,
out
that's
of the
game
fire
short in
because
the
the other
fifth
player
leg.
never
Scott Mitchell.
finished.
Sixth
No
leg is
danger of
Umit
that
to throw
with Scott
first.
Mitchell there.
Game on.
All 5 legs with throw. 3-2 to the man from Bransgore in Dorset.
And I think Scott Mitchell, over the last few years, one of the areas of his game where he really has improved is how he holds his throw. You know, the strength of his holds of throw.
31.
It's very rare he goes above 15 darts. And of course, if you're the man standing behind, then that means you've got to break in 12 darts or less. And that's a tough ask.
Yeah, of course it is, yes.
Well, there's a chance here
85.
for Mitchell now. Only 31 by Uygunsozlu. Not wholly punished by Scotty Dog, but he is in front. And Uygunsozlu now must hit a treble, you feel. There's one. Would love another one alongside that.
95.
unlucky.
He did exactly what you said, but he wasn't quite as accurate as he'd have liked to have been.
140.
Good darts from Mitchell, a 10 ahead. And you feel now, John, this is the first real opportunity to break the throw.
And then effectively putting himself 2 breaks ahead in the contest.
Yes, Uygunsozlu would then have to break
140.
twice
To
if he
win
wants
the
to win the game.
game.
Well, that's a good response, though. He has acquitted himself well so far, Uygunsozlu, I think. He's not been too phased by the
140.
occasion, but this is the real test, right in the middle of the game. Mitchell could break
he's
at a
one of
crucial
those
time.
players that I frankly know little of, who has impressed me during this tournament.
86. Scott, you
Conor
require
Whitehead,
136.
who beat Daddlefitton yesterday, made a big impression on me. From last year, of course, Peter Machin made his impression 12 months ago, but he was exceptionally good today. Again, in going through to
78.
the second round.
Umit, you require
Well, this will be a
149.
great one for 9.
Wouldn't it just? Wouldn't it just? Treble 20 leaves 89, which is treble 19. Now, I'll leave it at that.
Well,
Is that 69 left? So which treble would you go for on 69? Treble 19 to leave double 6?
125.
That's good thinking.
Scott, you
Double
require
12
58.
left. Brilliant visit. Might yet not profit him. Double 10. Not for
Yeah,
the
that's
first
game
time.
short in the sixth
In
line.
fact, for the
Scott
second
Mitchell.
or third time in this match, double 10 is
7
all
markers. Scott to throw
Mitchell's,
first. Game on.
and 4-2 the score.
and a really big celebration there as he hit that double 10 from Mitchell.
Well, he knew that excellent
60.
145, or what is it? What was it? He got the treble 15 to leave double 12. Was brilliant from the Turk.
Yes, and therefore hitting the double 10 with your last dart in hand as well is a psychological blow to the man
93.
standing behind you. When you hit the double with your last dart, you think you're about to get a shot, but no, the door is slammed in your face. And now Mitchell really wants to steal a march
100.
on the throw, because they do say in the game, don't they, John? A break is only a break if you hold the next leg.
Well, in a sense, that's absolutely true. But I wouldn't want the door slammed in my face by Scott Mitchell, because it might break me nose.
134.
He's a good player. He's a good player, Hugh. There's no doubt about it.
Good darts, excellent
And,
cover
this
shots.
tournament has thrown up, as I said, one or two names that will feature in the future for sure. In future
100.
events.
Well, there's a chance here now for Uygunsozlu. If you put in another 2 trebles, then he's really back in the match. There's 1. And it's a good life for another 2. Unlucky, another 1 in there would leave a finish.
81.
Oh, unlucky. Unlucky deflection into the 1. Yes, raises his arms in exasperation. Plenty of room in there.
100.
Well, it's anybody's leg, John.
Yes, it is indeed. And we're waiting for Mitchell's score to be featured on there.
There's a couple of times he's left the 1-4-1 finish in this match. Unfortunately, not an opportunity of a 9-dart leg as of yet.
No.
I've had a couple of opportunities at a
41.
9-darter yesterday.
Scott
Today,
require
two players
141.
had 6 perfect darts, and the 7th was south of the treble 20, but nothing like that today.
130.
Well, he didn't want that 50, he wanted
would
the
you require
25. But you've got to go,
152?
you've got to settle for that. That's the risk of going for the 25, of course. Now, you'd think this fella was just about to do the long jump. He's taken that long to get, but he's focusing. He's doing what he needs to do. And he knew that 2 treble 20s would have given him a genuine chance of holding or breaking throw. And,
57.
11,
Scott, you
3, double
require
4.
11.
It's the same when you want 65. You go for the bullet, hit the 50.
No
And
score.
that, of course, is a dart that
Umit require 95.
does surprise me. Now 95. Via the bull, possibly. Well, that's what he intended. You'll have to go treble 18, double top now. And double top would be a tremendous finish. Would it
just
just?
came short
Oh,
in the
that was
seventh
a
line.
brilliant,
Uygunsozlu.
brilliant effort. And what pleases me about that is that
8 leg, it's Umit to go
Scotty
first.
really
Game on.
threw it away. Wanted big 3, and that's as a result of going for the 61 via the 25 route, hitting the bull, and then not hitting the big 3 is criminal. So he managed to step up there, and yes, although his first dart was wayward, what a great recovery.
Yes, Mitchell will be
57.
metaphorically kicking his backside for that, missing the big 3, but I'm impressed with Uygunsozlu's composure in this game. He's looked composed all the way through, and he's hit a couple of really good checkouts
43.
under big pressure. A 66 earlier on in the game, 94 there where he recovers with treble 18 and tops. And there's plenty still for Mitchell to think about.
$96.
Good last dart, just keeps his lead at 90. This reminds me of that game earlier where it looked at one stage
137.
as though the senior player, the more experienced player, the seed was going to run away with it. Had opened up a 2-leg league, and then suddenly it got turned on its head.
140.
Durrant and Brian Dawson. 3-0 up Durrant. Brian Dawson got it back to 3-all. 4-3, 4-all, 5-4, 5-all.
180.
That could happen here, you know. That could happen here.
Well, that Dawson-Durham game was the match of the day so far for me, and Mitchell, for me, has just sped up a little bit, John. He sped up his game, scored 137 and 180. It's not been his finest performance of his career so far,
100.
by Mitchell,
Scott
but
141.
this is much better in this leg. And for me, John, I do just think he has sped up
60.
his game just by a few
Umit Uygunsozlu,
milliseconds, but
108.
he looks in better rhythm for me now. But even so, it's Uygunsozlu on 108. To level up a 4-all, he's had a good leg too.
He's halved it. 54 left. 108. I love it when they score 108.
Well, is he going to go the Shanghai route? I think he is. Single 18 for double 18 for 4 legs all.
72.
Well, it's not as far from Turkey to Shanghai as it is from here, but it's a good route
Scott
to take.
81.
On that 108. A lot of players go for the 19s as well. That route makes sense as well. They all do. Scotty,
56.
I'm going to go at the ball.
Umit
This time,
36.
when he really wanted it, missing it. So double 18 for parity at 4 apiece. Oh, so close, very close.
That's
he's got
game
it.
short and the 8 leg.
No
Umit
danger,
Uygunsozlu.
4 apiece.
9
This
leg
lad's
is
got a lot of
Scott to throw
character,
first.
hasn't he?
Game on.
And Scott Mitchell, doubt whether he's got on his mind that big 19 when he wanted big 3 in the last leg, and then
140.
Uygunsozlu took out 95. Now he's, with the help of his third 180. I don't think he got
91
that leg actually, but he certainly deserved to win it.
Well, that last dart at double 18 was such an impressive dart for me, John. There looked to be a lot of barrel and
140.
flight in the way, but he found a way through, right through the middle of the first 2 darts to hit the double 18. And for me, under that pressure, best dart of the match so far.
Yes.
135.
Yes. I'm not going to disagree, and I'm not going to wholeheartedly agree either. I'll sit on the fence on that one.
Well, there may be a few more big darts to come in this game because a best of 11 leg match has effectively become a best of 3.
50.
It has
54.
indeed, a good old news of the world, except that they're throwing from it. They're not throwing from 8 feet. Sticking at it.
Could come for the 25 here. Yes, leads
105.
170. Good thinking.
Scott Uruguay,
So 2 big
167.
finishes on offer here. Mitchell first on throw.
epitome of concentration, both of them, but especially Umit Uygunsozlu.
97.
Now 170.
Umit you require
wouldn't that be
170.
great? There's £1,000 for the highest checkout. At the moment, it's Wes Harms, 150 earlier today, who has it.
Well, £1,000 for the highest checkout, but it will feel like so much more if he was to get it. Not to be now.
Well, he'd have wanted treble 20, treble 20. And dare I
38.
say,
Scott, you require
not
70.
an Istanbul, but a normal dartboard bull.
20. Tops now for 5-4. Mitchell.
30.
Just over the top, so
Umit you
we
require
just mentioned the bull.
132.
And,
Well, it's the way to go from here. 1-3-2 with the other fella sitting on tops. It's a bull, not Istanbul.
and I love the cheeky wink to the camera there.
Well, it's not a bull. That's 33, so 99 left. Well, let's just say he's got 86
46.
left. I think I'm right anyway.
Scott, you require 40.
Yes. Tops then for 5-4. That's a great marker. Gotta fancy this. Oh, Scott, what are you doing? But double
Yeah,
10's
that's
been
King
good to him
Shorten and
today.
ninth lad.
Double 10 has
Scott
been really
Mitchell.
great to him. Look what that means to Scott Mitchell. His first leg in 3. And
10 black, it's Umit to throw
to
first.
save the
Game on.
match. Uygunsozlu needs to win this leg. Clearly outscored by Scott Mitchell over the first 9 darts and indeed over the match as a whole. But nevertheless, Umit has produced the big moments at the right time, which has kept him very much in the contest.
100.
But ultimately, John, it's not going to be about staying in the game. It's going to be about winning the game.
Yes, you're right. Absolutely.
60.
And there's only one way to do that now, and that's by winning the next 2 legs.
But he'll give it a go, that's for sure.
Well, after the opening 2 scores of this leg, it looks like he's going to be making it 5 legs all very shortly. And if he keeps them there, he
180.
definitely will be. A celebration again by Uygunsozlu. Some emotion going on up there.
100.
Well, a great time to pick out a 180. It's the next leg where he's going to really need one, and Mitchell knows that. The 10th leg of a very, very
60.
tense match now. And Mitchell, when he was 4-2 up, I'm not suggesting for a moment that he was cruising, but we thought that he had,
60.
when he got that
Umit
first
you
break
require
of the match,
161.
done enough perhaps to see it through with all his vast experience. But the reason he hasn't is partly because of his own waywardness and partly because of this fella's thorough determination.
43.
Yes, it's been an absorbing encounter, this one. And are we heading for a fitting finale? Not if Scott Mitchell can say anything about it. I'm sure he won't want to be going the full distance.
No, he won't want to, no.
60.
But it looks like we are, because
Umit you
6
require
starts from 118.
118, 118. Come on. He's got the beard. 118, 118. 38 wanted.
99.
He'll be back though. He might well have been better employed there going for 6 and leaving himself 32. But having said that, who am I to criticise him or even suggest that I
105.
criticise him? 3
Umit you require 90.
8. We know that.
Well, it's 3 for double 8, and we've already seen the big 3 missed in this game. Admittedly not by Uygunsozlu. No such mistake from him. Double 8 for 5 legs all, and to take us all the way. Double 4.
Yeah, that's
Hits it.
Game Short and a 10
All the way we
Umit
go.
Uygunsozlu.
Scotty
11
Dog
and final leg
Mitchell
is Scott
has
to throw
the
first.
throw here.
Game on.
A friendly touch of fists, nothing more than a touch. Both in fighting mood, but only in hockey terms. Both have hit 5 doubles.
97.
Well, I was
Umit.
talking earlier on in the game, John, about how strong Mitchell is on his throw. Normally goes out in 15 darts or less. Uygunsozlu, for me, has to be looking at a 12-darter. Mitchell, a solid start with a 97. Oh, what a good first dart. Look how deliberate the action has become, John.
Yeah,
As
he's
the
got,
going gets tough.
he's got a very nice action,
97.
a nice metronomic in a sense. This is good stuff. This is good stuff from Mitchell.
180.
Well, if that 180 in the last leg was a timely one from the Turkish man, then the Englishman there provided one for himself. Couldn't have been better timed.
The class of a world champion.
Now, one here would level up the scores, of course.
Well, this is
One
a
here
classy-
one here would level up the scores, of course.
140.
Oh, I thought just for a moment. But what a good score. What a good way of answering back.
Yes, I was just going to say, John, a classy score from a world champion, a class
140.
response. And there's another class response. This is a brilliant leg by both players. Mitchell, the best leg he's thrown in the match. 84 after 9. Superb composure by Scotty Dog. Now Uygunsozlu, what can he do? Must get a treble, at least one treble to leave a finish. 18s perhaps.
41.
Oh, yes, he knows.
Might be the
He knows.
Scott, you
concentration.
require 84.
Just went a little bit there, and now Mitchell 84 for a victory. Double 12 he wants for an 11-darter. Double 12 for a 12-darter, and he
Big
gets it. Double
shot.
12,
Element.
and that
Scott
indeed is a
Mitchell.
12-dart leg that wins Scott Mitchell a remarkable game. Scott Mitchell's through, and coming up we've got Wolfie Adams and Cameron Menzies.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like each and every one of you to put your hands together. A Turkish TV debut here for Umit Uygunsozlu. And before we give the applause to Mr. Mitchell, we'll have a chat with him. Okay, if you can stand this side of me, Scott, otherwise they won't see me. Thank you. Look, we know it's you they're here to see. We've seen some shocks and we've seen some close games over the past couple of days. That was right up there with it as far as the entertainment. Did you enjoy it? We did.
Oh, over the moon with that, yeah. No, it's kind of, we got no other Turkey people coming back to this weekend anyway. But no, he's come here to play a game. And he's played his own game, and you've got to hand that to him. Fair play to him. I've been lucky enough to play him before in the Europe Cup pairs, so that's how he plays all the time. 1 minute he's throwing 100 mile an hour, next minute he's slow as a tortoise. We're on TV.
Give you the mic back. Well, enough about the young man from Turkey. What about yourself? Right back in form, a ranking win in Belgium and then in Denmark. Feeling good?
Yeah, you always feel good, don't you, when you're winning? It's the days when it's not going so well is what you find out about yourself. And today it wasn't going so well for me, but I've got through it. So I found a little bit more about myself today.
And you're up for the task. You're playing second round tomorrow. If you get through that, 3 big games on Monday. Lakeside World Champion, of course, in the past. Fancy adding the BDO World Trophy to the list?
Hey, we're not here to make up the numbers, are we? Come on.
Well, he's one of the big numbers here, ladies.